Hello and welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Rewind. I'm your host, Travis.
I'm Chris.
I remember you.
Yo! What's up, man?
So,
Got a couple of cobwebs still on us.
yeah, we
Mothball there.
there's been some stuff going on in the pop culture world, Marvel comics, all that stuff. There might have been a movie or something that's come out, and I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, I was bullied. I'm a victim. This person right here, he kidnapped my wife. She's tied up somewhere.
One of us forgot the safe word.
Well, it already went off the rails from this point.
That's only the second time in 12 years I've touched him that way. Guess the first.
Would you believe just like that? No. So, yeah, we...
It's been 2 years, bro.
Literally, we were just looking at that before we recorded. Legitimately, if you look back at our... I'm sure you can see this on our history. If anybody... God bless you. If you're still around and you're still subscribed to Pop Culture Rewind, yeah, I thank you. I don't know why.
3 phones around the world. 3 phones around the world are going to be dinging when this video gets uploaded.
A notification. But our last video that had us in it, I should say, like us talking to you, the people,
The humanoids.
Yes, it was 2 years ago to the day.
Yeah.
So, and it was about a similar subject, what we're talking about right now. So, it's funny how that all works out. But yeah, if you're mad at this video,
Blame me.
it's him. It's 100% Chris. I literally...
If you like it, thank him.
I'll take credit for it for sure. But no, Chris came to me again after many threats and bullying attempts. Mm-hmm. I literally had to get all my equipment out of the garage. It was in storage.
Yeah. And by all equipment, it's a computer.
And a microphone, and a camera.
And a chip clip.
And no, excuse me, a camera that's already been outdated, so now we're using our iPhone. And I think the iPhone looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a wonder how technology has changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah. And this is the front camera. This is not the back camera.
I bought a light to make me look brighter. Because God knows.
Because the one above us isn't bright enough.
No.
How many watts is the one above us?
If I turn this light off, it might as well be lights out in here.
Yeah.
So anyway, these people don't care about what's going on here. They just want to know. They saw the thumbnail. They saw the title.
Pop Culture Rewind. Yeah. We have opinions on stuff.
Yeah. It's like pop culture present.
Yeah.
Pause. Pop culture pause. Should have renamed it 2 years ago. Okay, so Chris, why are we back from the grave?
A new movie came out a couple weeks ago. Actually, as we're recording, it was last weekend.
Yeah, so we're already late on this.
Yeah,
you already know.
You've seen a dozen opinions, and you've probably seen 3 dozen clips online on your Facebook feed ruining it for you.
Yeah.
Of stuff that's in the movie.
What hasn't been ruined, we'll ruin the rest for you.
Yes, we'll try our best.
Yes.
But we got to go back a little bit.
Okay.
Like we mentioned earlier, it's been 2 years since we've discussed anything with the people regarding anything Marvel.
Well, we've done some other stuff. We've done some reviews. Yeah. But if you're looking at us on YouTube, it's just not our pretty faces. Yeah. You see.
2 faces for radio.
This is true. But I will say real quick, our past episodes are archived at podbean.com, so you can go there, check out all our old content. Obviously, our YouTube stuff is still available. Mm-hmm. We gotta say RIP to the website.
Yeah.
I don't need it. But I'm still on the Instagram and on the Facebook. Although it doesn't matter at this point. It really doesn't. I have not used Facebook for sure.
No.
And Instagram is more just collection pics and other stuff that's going on. Nothing about pop culture stuff. What are you doing? Don't touch that. I didn't say you could touch that.
He looked like he wanted it.
No. He didn't? No consent. All right. So, go on. You were saying.
So, leading up to where we are now, it's been 2 years. How do you think...
Face the camera.
How do you think Disney has been faring in the last 2 years? What have we gotten in the last 2 years? on Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus?
Yeah.
We bought a bunch of garbage. That's what we got. If you want to be truthful about it. Because there's been a lot that's happened since we've kind of...
Yeah. The sacred timeline has continued without us. We've got...
How dare they?
Captain America Winter Soldier. We got Miss Marvel. We got... Loki Season 2. We never talked about WandaVision, did we?
I think so. Well, we might have. Yeah, it's been a while.
And then Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And we were still on the path of... We still have 2 Avengers movies coming up. The first one's gonna... Oh, we didn't even talk... Ant-Man. Mania. Quantum Mania.
Did we? No, I don't think we did.
With our good friend Jonathan Majors.
That
happened.
No, I think the last movie we actually... There's on YouTube is Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, Doctor Strange, America Chavez.
I think that's the last one we did.
Yeah.
No, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Oh, yeah! How much we loved that movie.
Yeah. So what's your point, Chris?
More strikes than hits, right?
Oh, absolutely. Marvel needs positivity because they have a lot of negativity. And not just critical-wise, but just box office-wise. Everything. Disney just in general. Their theme park attendance is down. Everything's down.
Subscribers, the profitability from Disney Plus isn't what they...
Oh, they're hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
Not just in Disney Plus, but just on box office totals. Yeah. And how many flops have they had in 2023 and this year? Yeah. It's a lot of excuses can be thrown around, a lot of blames to be had. But one thing that it seems to me, and it seems from the vast majority of fans, is Marvel Studios, Disney, they're not listening to the fans. And I think that's the critical part of it is what's going on. And a lot of people are just getting fed up with it. So now we're to the point where I'm not at this point yet with Marvel, but with Star Wars, I've said before that I'm at that stage of apathy. Like, I just don't care. There's just no... I don't care what's happening with Star Wars. Now, with Marvel, they get me here and there because they have a better track record in the first 10 years.
They've built up a lot of positive equity for you.
Yeah. Now, whether they want to shit all over that for the next... I didn't know they were going to do that for the next 5 years. Because it's funny. Before Captain Marvel came out, we said, and I remember we said this at some point, they can afford...
a fumble here and there.
To throw something out that may or may not work because they have that level. Like, nothing would fail at that time. They have just trying to run that into the ground as far as what can we get away with that, that's not very good. And
some of the stuff is even out of their hands. I mean, how good would have a Black Panther sequel have been without Chadwick Boseman anyway? Regardless of who you try to fit in as the lead or replacement or focus on someone else.
Well, I don't want to get too much into the weeds of everything else. Yeah. But yeah, there's been some...
There's stuff that's out of their control, but at
end of the day, it's creativity, and it's not working out. Yeah. So, ever since, Super Bowl? Was it Super Bowl that teaser came out?
Yes.
With the... Hugh Jackman and
Reynolds on the couch. Yeah. He was like, I got an idea for Deadpool 3. I don't know. Wait a minute. Hey, Hugh, you want to come back for another movie? Yeah, sure.
As he's walking in the background.
The
yeah. So that kind of kicked off the hype machine.
Yeah.
That became just a monster.
Bro.
Man, you could not escape the hype for this movie.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. But again, that kind of goes back to Marvel needs a win. You could say that the last billion-dollar movie was No Way Home, but that's more of a Sony / Marvel. Yeah. Maybe
we don't talk about our cousins much.
Maybe Guardians 3 to an extent. But that's like they're like few and far between. But this feels like an event again.
Another aspect of that is this is the only movie in the MCU this year that's hitting theaters. So they have the time and the care and the attention and resources to give the one movie they have all the adulation that you could give it.
So that being said, What movie are we talking about?
Deadpool 3.
No.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
There you go.
Once that title came in the airwaves, okay, I sit like this half the
You
time.
have my attention now.
Oh yeah. Deadpool always had my curiosity. That movie, Deadpool 1, came out from fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Literally.
Stormed every village in the town.
Literally stole his way, leaked his way into a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Deadpool and Wolverine. Hugh Jackman returning as Logan. Now, everybody knows the movie. Everybody kind of has seen how we got to this point. What kind of where do we want to start on the actual movie? And just so you know, you've probably already seen this movie anyways, but there will be spoilers. So
if you haven't already seen it, go watch it, and then come back and see it.
Yeah, please come back, or don't. I don't know if we're gonna do another one. This could be it. I don't know. This is all his fault. Again, have I said that before? This is his fault. If you don't like it, put in the comments that Chris sucks.
Yeah. So I'm going to be upfront. The first thing I thought of when I finished watching the movie is Travis might want to talk about this with y'all. This might be the thing that gets
so now it's on me.
Old man Travis off the couch and into the toy chest.
Okay, so
talking
now
about Deadpool and Wolverine.
It's on me now.
Obviously, he's wearing the uniform.
No.
Ish.
This whole thing?
He wears that in his sleep.
Yeah. It's got Wolverine right there.
You're leaving the theater
Yeah.
after the showing. What's the first thought that pops into your mind?
Well, you asked me off air when I told you I saw you texted me. You said
one word review.
One word review. Fun. What was yours? One word.
I believe my word was fulfilling. Because
so you don't need any more.
Nah.
Okay.
But I'll watch it again. I did. But it's this is going to be an odd comparison. This feels like Endgame in the sense that for you to really appreciate Endgame, you have over 10 years of history of emotional attachment to characters for it to hit you in the right spot at the right moment so that when you leave, even during Infinity War, when you leave the theater knowing the heel actually overcame all the heroes, you're like, what the fuck just happened? I kind of got the same vibe with this movie because in order for you to appreciate this movie, there's a lot of context in the last 20 years.
Yeah, but it didn't hit you over the head with it, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because you know the characters and they explained, even if you didn't know who Wolverine was, I think they did a good job of explaining who he is, why he's an essential part of the plot of the movie, why he's being brought in. I think that works. Yeah. I think all that made sense.
The title made it clear. The main concern is Deadpool, Wolverine. If you're watching an Avengers movie, the main concern is all y'all.
But see, the difference between this and something like Endgame is here. If you like Endgame, you have to know what's going on. You have to watch a certain amount of content to understand the context of what's going on. Here, it's all bonus. Like, there's a scene with some cameos, which we'll get to. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen any superhero movies in the last 20 years, okay, you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on. You know, who are these people? Whatever. But if you have seen those movies, it's a bonus for you because you're like, oh, I get that. Ooh, it's him. Ooh, it's her. You know.
Technically, 2 sets of cameos because we start in the first act of them being in the void and trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and they're fighting each other, and then they get ambushed by a group of characters from the Fox universe.
Right.
And a hero from the Fox universe that you didn't know was from the Fox universe until he lit himself on fire.
But real quick, in that, if we're going to go and start talking about this, the void and everything they're explaining, the TVA and the smoke monster and all that. I mean, I've seen Loki. Mm-hmm. So I knew what they were talking about. I just wonder if,
for the people that didn't watch it, do you think there was enough explanation for their existence?
They explained it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they explained the TVAs
in detail. Like
I think the TVA part. I think they assumed people knew who they were because that was. I don't think they explained it, but in a very condensed version, which took a whole season to explain before. So I think the the implication is you knew who these people were.
Or what they did. Because technically there's only one person from that Loki series that's in this movie that people that watch Loki would recognize.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone else do just as by association, oh, this is part of the time traveling group.
Yeah. Okay, so that stuff, that part, other than the TVA and that aspect, I think everything else is just, if you knew about it, great. If you didn't, we're gonna tell you. We're gonna tell you what it is.
Yeah, we'll tell you enough.
Yeah. What else you got?
Give me your biggest high.
Ooh. I don't know. It was just overall, just some of the jokes, some of the humor. I mean, if you like Deadpool, you got a lot of Deadpool in this. He talks a lot in this movie. I'm still on the fence of. I mean, I get it's a different Wolverine. It's just weird hearing him like throwing out F-bombs.
Yeah. Having dialogue.
Yeah, that too. But there's a lot of meta jokes, breaking the fourth wall, things like that. Yeah. The Fox stuff was fun. I don't know. I guess because you're already invested in that world, in those characters, the past and the present. I don't know. It was a good time. I didn't. Now, someone asked me how, what'd you think of it? And I said it was fun. If you think about the story, if you think about the plot too much, it falls apart very easy, very quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff doesn't make sense. But again, in a movie like this, and I hate to be the type that say, "Oh, you just turn your brain off and just enjoy it," but
I'm living the gimmick.
But here, it's just we waited so long to get Wolverine in the comic accurate costume. Deadpool was already pretty much pulled from the comics anyways, and we knew going in there was going to be a lot of Fox nods and homages and everything. So I fulfilling, I would say that I got everything I needed out of it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't more or less anything I anticipated. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah.
We talk a lot of we have talked a lot of shit on our archive of Pop Culture Rewind about Michael Bay movies. Yeah. Sometimes you need a Michael Bay movie to just shut down for 2 hours and just take it all in.
Yeah. No politics, no identity stuff. It's just here it is. Yeah. And I think it worked.
Very well. My favorite part was actually the fight scenes between Deadpool and Wolverine. There are a lot of movies, especially in comics.
Which one? There's like...
especially in comics, they tease a lot of fights, and the fights aren't they're not as long, or they're not what you expect them to be, or it's watered down because you're trying to cater to a wider audience. Watching this movie, you know exactly who the audience is catered to. There's random people that, just like they were fooled when the first Deadpool came out, they did the advertising that it's a date movie. Caught a lot of women, and they was like, what the fuck am I doing? And then when in the first 5 minutes, Deadpool explains what the fuck they're all doing there, And so, walking in there, that there's an expectation of what you were going to get. And I got plenty of Deadpool and Wolverine together.
All right, quick example here of something that already it made me laugh. Because the whole thing going in there is, look, they did such a good job of closing that chapter of Old Man Logan and everything, and you got the X, and they're not going to do anything to mess with that. They're going to go through a separate timeline and everything. And no, the movie opens up with him digging his corpse out of the dirt. Oh, and then the fight scene right after that, just using his body parts as weapons, playing Bye 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 with NSYNC, and it's just. Yeah, it put a smile on my face because it was funny. It was, come on, if you're getting offended by that, come on, go watch something else.
So this is part of why this was catered specifically to us. Do you get that reference?
Which reference?
Of Bye 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 from NSYNC.
Specifically, no. I thought it was funny. I just thought it was a funny. Is there a specific reason for that music choice?
So
Chris?
in X2, when Wolverine and Pyro and Rogue are in the
car, yeah.
and then he's looking to turn the radio on or something, that's the song that they play.
Is it a coincidence?
No.
No.
I'm sure they think of every wall to break in order to make this out.
I never even thought about that at all, and I don't think anybody else did, Chris. Thanks for wasting our time.
This is all we came for. Thanks.
But yeah, that was fun. Well, another high for me was some of the montage of Wolverines that we got. In that, do you want to go ahead and discuss that part of it, or
go for it?
All right. So there is a scene, a montage, and Deadpool even calls us, get the montage going, where they go to different universes, and we see different versions of Wolverine, and that's all like
geekdom.
I was the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he's like, oh, that
Burns.
Yeah. But it was cool to see the brown and tan suit Wolverine. I wish he had his mask on for that, because the whatever. That's again dirt. I'm geeking out. But that was good. The cross. Once I saw the cross,
Uncanny,
there,
right?
Yeah. I got that issue back there somewhere. Uncanny 251, I believe. Which right now, because of the movie, it's like shot up like $200-$300 in value right now. It's like crazy. Thinking about selling it. But
I got $3.50 in my wallet.
I'll take it.
Awesome! I got the 50 cents.
Yeah. But that, and then of course there was the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, where he had the missing hand with the chrome and the wild hair and everything. That right there was fun to see. I was not expecting that. That exceeded my expectations on the movie, because I wasn't thinking. And then the cameo for the Wolverine montage. There's also one where he's playing Patch, which is a character from the comics. There was a rumor that, because in the trailer it's like you see him from behind. Mm-hmm. The rumor was he was going to turn around with someone else. The rumor was Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. He was going to be he was going to be playing him in that part. But anyway, because he was a rumored person to play Wolverine for this. Anyway. But the last cameo was a 2-part cameo, because they kind of teased it, and then they did the reveal, which was the Calverine.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, the hair was a little Ace Ventura. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of wild. But dude,
it worked.
It looked good. And at first, in my mind, I was thinking, isn't he really tall? But I looked it up. I googled. He's actually an inch shorter than Hugh Jackman. He's just like stockier, so it actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, did you like the shrunken down? It was supposed to be like comic accurate Wolverine, because he's 5'2" in the comics, but all they did was shrink him down. They didn't like make him proportionate to so that was that had to have been like
there's very few people that are gonna get that.
That was that had to have been a fun little game. And the U-shaped V-neck, I don't know why that threw me off. It just looked silly. The whole thing was silly just in general, but. There was that. So that was some highs for me, because I didn't expect some of those versions of Wolverine. Anyway, go. So what?
You want to talk highs? Definitely got to talk about the rest of the cameos.
Okay, let's do the rest of the cameos then.
So, in the first third of the movie, we get introduced to some people that, if you were watching before, early Fox Movieverse, you would recognize. I don't know a lot of these actors by name, but Sabretooth from the first movie, from the first X-Men movie, was in it. Pyro from the second movie and third, he was in there.
Kelly Hu was playing Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah, she was also...
Although I don't know why they brought her in, because she was in the background, out of focus, but I saw her there, and she's in the credits.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just some actress they got to play her. There's Juggernaut from... Last Stand. It
wasn't Vinnie Jones.
No.
It was somebody else. Which I
he said he didn't want to do it. There's an interview going floating around. He's like, they asked me to do it, but I don't know, I can do the accent. But they asked me to do it, but no, I didn't want to do the costume. And then,
I didn't like the costume, bro.
Yeah, and then plus he's filming the Gentleman TV series, which you haven't seen. Go check it out. But what other villains were in that little spot there? Some of the ones from Last Stand, the
dude that grows back his arms.
I don't know about that, but the chick, the main female part of the resistance, she's got the.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Psylocke, but it was someone that has similar look. To
well, not her, but she's the one that had. I think she had the Omega tattoo on her neck. I can't remember. She could sense mutants, and she ran fast or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter. There were some cameos there. If you got it, you got it. Yeah.
Chris Evans shows up in the first act.
Real quick. Okay, so real quick about this. I was talking to a coworker of mine, and before the movie even came out, I said, I guarantee it's got to happen. Chris Evans is going to come in as Human Torch.
Yeah, I thought.
The funny thing is, it happened. I wasn't even thinking of Human Torch, and then when the reveal happened, I was like, "Oh, they got me!" It's just like I called it, and they, whatever. I feel kind of silly, but
that was fucking hilarious because the first viewing that I was in, the crowd like half popped for a lot of the deeper cuts, so you can tell who in the audience wasn't aware of what was going on.
Yeah.
So there was a legitimate reaction to Chris Evans from people assuming, how does Captain America fit in this?
Well, how would Captain America be there?
Yeah.
In the first place.
and they're following along with Deadpool because Deadpool's playing along as well. It's like, oh, Captain, you know, and he comes closer to
Captain,
him.
my Captain.
Yeah, and when he says flame on, then everyone's like, what? Yeah, it was funny. I liked it a lot. And then he got whooped.
Why would he throw fire at the one person that controls fire?
Yeah.
So that part was kind of stupid. I didn't like that. It didn't make any sense.
Oh, man.
And then we got those Wolverine, Sabretooth showdown, which they ruined it on the trailers. They kind of showed you the whole thing, other than...
One of the last trailers, yeah. I tried to stay away from the internet the last 3 or 4 days because I didn't want to get anything...
Oh, now look at his life to be spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it was one of those things where, you know, they even said, you know, come on, look, be presentable. People waited 20 years to see this, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like over...
5 seconds.
Yeah.
His head's cut off.
That was kind of lame. But then we had a little Mad Max Furiosa. And,
yeah.
But then they get captured and everything else. So
and everyone's staring at Deadpool like, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Then towards the third act, we get the second round of cameos, which was a lot.
Not really a whole lot. It was a few. Could have been a whole lot more.
But the weight was a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the first half, other than Chris Evans, there was a lot of B cast characters in there. When we get to before the third act starts, you see heavy hitters. If you're invested in the old cinematic universe that led up to where we are now from the Fox end, then you're familiar with the characters.
Well, there's only 2 cameos in. To what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Technically, there's only 2 cameos from the past universes, and actually one of them's not even Fox. One's New Line Cinema.
Go for it. Tell them.
You're like, what are you talking about? So the first cameo we got was Elektra.
Yeah.
Which funny little, I guess it was an inside joke, but they mentioned that they're trying to get Daredevil, but he died. And Deadpool's like, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. And Elektra, ex-wife of Ben Affleck, it's okay. It's okay. I thought that was funny. I popped at that. But then, so we get Elektra, which I like Jennifer Gardner. I think she seems like a nice person. But I've always liked her. Alias, even Elektra, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the first cameo. So then, to your point, the heavy hit, I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Wesley fucking Snipes coming back as Blade. So he comes walking in, but he's from New Line Cinema. That's not a Fox property. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool seeing him. And then we turn around from there, and we get Gambit walking in.
Remy LeBeau.
Yeah.
Bonsoir.
This time being played by Channing Tatum. Now, the big joke on that, and they joked about it in the thing, but if you didn't get what he was talking about, it probably didn't resonate. But so it was even announced at a Comic-Con years ago there was going to be a Gambit movie starring Channing Tatum. And this was announced. There was going to be a Gambit movie, a Doctor Doom movie, and a Silver Surfer movie, I believe. But this was all right before the Fox sale to Disney. And of course, anything that was in pre-production, that all got... But even James Teddy even showed up at San Diego Comic-Con with a Gambit shirt. And he did it again this year wearing the same shirt that he wore at last one.
And you didn't want to wear the same shirt you recorded.
No, I didn't. No, because I'm better than him. But I thought the look of him, I liked it, except for the hair. Gambit's got some wild hair,
Yeah.
And he's like all combed over.
Like yours.
Yeah. I'm not Gambit. Gambit shouldn't have hair like me.
Never seen you play a deck of cards once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it'd be a disaster.
What did you think of his accent? Trying his best as an actual Cajun.
It was a full-on, straight dialect, Cajun dialect accent, and I didn't understand half the stuff he said. But they pointed that out. But that's kind of how he would sound. Because in the comics, if you read the comics, he's like straight up like half French, half English.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen the cartoon. He's got the Cajun accent. It was really thick though on his. It was very thick. But they might have done that on purpose so they can do the joke about, seriously, who's your dialect coach? Like
the Minions.
Yeah.
Could you have stomached an 1.5 hour movie of Gambit with Channing Tatum as presented?
I guess we'll never know, Chris.
You don't think?
No, that ain't happening. I can tell you that. He would be nice in an X-Men movie. There's a fight scene later on. Yeah. He was doing Gambit stuff.
Yeah.
Doing the deck of cards, doing the staff and everything. More than what Taylor Hitch did in Wolverine Origins.
Yeah. Taylor Hitch jumped 1,000 stories up and landed with the staff.
And if I really want to nitpick, which I'm about to here because I'm a nerd, the eyes. They didn't get the eyes right.
Oh, it's supposed to be red.
Oh, the outside is black. Where the white is black. And then the pupils are red instead of black. So
can't win them all.
I guess they blew the budget on getting him in there, and they didn't want to use that special effects for that.
They also mentioned I like the little nod towards the end in the beginning of that fight scene. They mentioned that Ghost Rider was also.
They threw out a bunch of names. Yeah, I couldn't catch it all.
Ghost Rider was also defeated by Cassandra Nova, which is the villain in this movie. So when they break through the fortress in the van kind of catches fire like Ghost Rider would have been on fire if he had possessed the van. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, I watched the Ghost Rider series on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where he had the Charger and it looked the same way with the...
I'm really surprised they didn't haven't done anything else with that character, but...
Time will tell.
Yeah, well, we mentioned Cassandra Nova. I like the actress that did. I think she did a good job, considering what she was doing. Emma, I can't remember her last name, but what do you think of the... And that is true, her power, like putting her fingers in your head and all that shit.
Xavier's twin. They gave enough little information. If
they explained it
for the casual person to be like, okay, I get why.
That was straight up from the comics. Mm-hmm. Everything they said about her and what she was doing, it was from the. Now in the comics, she's an old withered woman, but you can't win them all, I guess.
Withered women might not sell tickets.
No. No offense to withered women out there. Yeah. So did you like her as a villain? It's nice that we just had a straight up villain, and not someone that's misinterpreted or they have.
Ulterior motives.
Yeah, or they're misunderstood. Yeah. They're really a good guy. They're doing whatever instill means, that kind of stuff. And no, she's straight up villain. She wants to rule the whole void or whatever.
She had her little moment of redemption where Wolverine's like, take the helmet off. Well, she's gonna kill us. Take the helmet off. Charles would have wanted her to live. And that one moment of, I'm gonna let you go for this. And then she comes back and just fucks up everything again.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because when they first said, "I'm going to take your helmet off," are you going to kill us if you take? Yes, I am.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so those are some highs.
Yeah.
Is there any other highs that you want to talk about in this? Because there's a lot. I mean, there's more highs than lows, I think. But,
yeah. A little something for me. I did notice in the first fight scene when they were in the void. Wolverine busted out the drill claw move when he was fighting Deadpool.
In which one?
In the first fight scene.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Did he say drill claw?
No. Or Berserker Barrage, but that would have been too deep a cut. I don't think a lot of people would have got that.
In a Deadpool movie? No. Missed opportunity. all those where at the end where they're fighting on the Deadpools.
Yeah.
That's where he should have busted out the moves, and Deadpool like kind of steps up, hey, Berserker Barrage or something.
Oh yeah, because they had the whole side scroll view. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Missed
That would've been
opportunity.
nice. Yeah.
Also, let's I don't know if this is high or low because I'm on the fence on this. What do you think of the mask, the Wolverine mask? Because I wanted to see it, and then I saw it, and I was like, I don't know if I like it or not. The white eyes for Deadpool works in the movie because they're expressive, and he's it's part of he's the merc with the mouth, right? So he's very reactive, he's expressive. But Wolverine with the white eyes, something about it didn't look right. I don't know what it was. Maybe the headpiece was too big. I don't know. It just looked off.
Not a lot of things are going to be as comic book accurate, will look as good in real time.
I'm aware of that. Yes.
I think if I have an issue with the mask, it would be that the eyes didn't emote like Deadpool's mask does.
Maybe that's what I
Deadpool's eyes
noticed.
squinted and they widened, that like the mask becomes a part of him.
So
when he finally put it on, it's just there. Even when they're talking before Wolverine is trying to
Maybe
say
that's the kind of the one I was talking about. Like the eyes, they didn't look right. They weren't moving. Not that I saw, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either.
But
that was 20 years in the making. If we hadn't already gotten teases earlier on of other versions of Wolverine, comic accurate, having him finally put the mask on, it's like, yeah, this is what I came for. And the fight scene,
right.
that scene, that's what I came for.
all right, so let's hear it. What do you not like about this movie? Nothing. It was perfect.
Oh, there's stuff I can pick. You mentioned it earlier. For us watching a movie where we should just enjoy it for what it is and unplug our brain, there's not a lot of story to this.
But do there need to be?
Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. For this being the introduction of Deadpool and essentially Wolverine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, other than the 2-minute opening scene, there is nothing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is played out or results in. Like, I was expecting the bonus scene to be Deadpool either finally meeting Captain America, because he references Captain America in the first movie.
Right.
Or...
he's a fan.
Yeah, or... like a little tease of why Thor was crying holding Deadpool, because they teased that.
We're gonna get that.
Also.
I think that. So I was gonna say that for later, but whatever. There's in the TVA there was a shot of Thor, kind of very reminiscent of the Dark World, where Thor's holding Loki, where Loki's dying. But that now is Deadpool in his half mask, and he's and they point out, hey, look, Thor's crying, and then Deadpool's like, whoa, why is he crying? Why is he crying? You'll find out later. That's what they say. So I'm thinking Secret Wars. I think we're gonna have to wait to see that payoff.
Okay.
That's the only thing
I hope so. Yeah. There's. I think, I watching it the first time, I got lost in a moment. I didn't realize it until when they were getting the motivation to team up to fight Cassandra and invade the fortress, that this was like a chef's kiss goodbye to the Fox cinematic universe of X-Men. And once the montage hit at the end of all the back footage, it made it crystal clear. Yeah. But I wasn't expecting...
I have an issue with all that.
I wasn't expecting an end to the Fox universe. I was expecting a beginning of Deadpool in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I don't think I got that as a viewer.
No. Earlier, you said...
fulfilled.
You were fulfilled. So you can't backtrack, buddy.
Yeah.
So, my issue was, besides the story be kind of bleh, and it falls apart, there's no structure to that story, but I had it in my mind, and this is my fault, but I was thinking that this was going to cement the end of the Fox universe. But it really doesn't. Because the whole mission in this movie is he's trying to save his universe. Mm-hmm. To save the 9 people that he cares about, whatever. Mm-hmm. He succeeds, spoiler alert, but at the same time, that saves that universe. So I was thinking we're going to merge into the Marvel universe, the MCU, and we don't. So what was the point of the movie? It's not making Deadpool part of the MCU. He's not. He's still part of the Fox universe.
The only recognition of it was at the end of the scene where Cassandra gets defeated and Deadpool and Wolverine are coming out, they're like, just know that there's things ahead that you might be needed for. But that was it. Yeah, but that was technically it. Like, we didn't really. I think that's another issue for me in the movie, is they tell us a lot of things. Mm-hmm. They didn't show us those things.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved a 5-minute cut of give me a montage of Wolverine suffering because he gets defeated, his X-Men get defeated, and him actually killing people whether they deserved it or not. Him having those why is he having the feelings of remorse that he starts drinking again?
Let me ask you something. Is this the same Wolverine that becomes the Wolverine in Logan? Because it's the same situation. He blames himself for the death of the X-Men, and he becomes a loser, essentially. He stops being a hero, right? And even X-20... Oh, we didn't mention that cameo. X-23, Laura...
Daphne Keane.
Which, that does not make any sense why she's in the Void. Or, no, she wasn't in the Void. Yeah, she was. She was in the Void with the other cameos, yeah. So that didn't make any sense. But she knew of Logan. She says, I met a guy like you, and blah, blah, blah. And
he wasn't the one
until it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happens in Logan that happens here, right? Yeah. Like, he's bummed out. She motivates him. She does a speech and gets him to come back into the fight. Mm-hmm. Same thing here. So there's no, like, creativity. No originality. No, I should say there's no originality. It's the same story arc
again
for that Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that is the same universe, even though they said that we picked the worst. Yeah. This is the worst Wolverine. You picked the worst Wolverine.
The worst. Well, the worst one was because in the Logan movie, the Logan of that universe redeemed himself, and that's funny in that scene in the beginning how everyone in the TVA is kind of like lip reading the scene. They're like, Logan. Yeah. This Logan, he had his opportunity and he didn't take it, and now he's spiraling further deep as opposed to the Logan that we got in the Logan movie.
Yeah. And another kind of nitpick on that is both Logan and this one, they told us that the X-Men died. I wanted to see some kind of flashback, battle scene, something going on. And on top of that, I wanted to see the X-Men in this movie. Like, where's Famke Johnson? Where's James Marsden? Where's Halle Berry?
If you want to scrutinize it even deeper, I know, obviously, I said earlier in the movie, I got Deadpool and Wolverine. But we opened the scene with Colossus, with...
but not the original... The Deadpool.
From the Deadpool timeline, it's his crew. It's Colossus, it's Negasonic, it's Yukio, it's...
Blind Owl.
Everybody
but TJ Miller.
Yeah.
For reasons.
Where were they in the fight? Because the fight ends in Deadpool's timeline. So where are they to help Deadpool and Wolverine, even if it's secondary?
Wait, you think he needs Colossus? Missed opportunity, fastball special. Could have had from the comics, Colossus. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Colossus, he picks up Wolverine and chunks his ass as a fastball.
Yeah, well, in the animated series, he does it to Sentinel, so I get it. But
yeah.
Well, there's more. I
Secret Wars.
Yeah, well, that too. not that I want to jump ahead, but like there's already stuff that's out there in the internet with a Z that the studio wants to do a follow up with Deadpool, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. Tom Holland.
I heard some kind of rumblings about that. But,
So yeah, I mean, if it makes $400 million in 4 days worldwide,
they're gonna do something.
They're gonna have to do something.
It's Disney. They know how to.
Yeah.
They know how to drain something until it's, whatever. Milk until it's dry or whatever. That's as far as the
lows.
Yeah, the missed opportunities and things like that.
I am not a huge fan or do not know the lore of the Deadpool corpse. How many is too many?
What we saw in the movie? That was ridiculous.
It was a lot. I like some of the cameos, but in the movie, in the moment, it's a lot.
They achieved... Look, I'll tell you this. They achieved one of their missions. My wife loves Dogpool.
Kevin Feige knows. It's almost like... It's not even Kevin Feige. It's a Disney thing. If you want to attract... And no disrespect to anyone that we know or don't know. If you want to attract the lowest common denominator, animals... Why did Guardians of the Galaxy 3 do so well? The story was focused on Rocket.
Well, they tried that with the Marvels with all the kittens.
Oh, the Flurkin? Yeah.
They're cats.
Yeah.
Did you watch? Wait, hold on. Did you watch that movie?
The first Captain Marvel.
No, I didn't ask you that. Did you watch the Marvels?
No.
Okay.
I still haven't. No.
That's the right answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Girl power. Yeah, that's just not.
And I'm just going to ignore the fact that you called certain people lowest common denominators. Anyway.
It's not hardcore fans like us that have already seen it 7 times in one weekend. There's a lot there for people that are casual viewers of Deadpool or people that just like anything because Ryan Reynolds is in it.
I saw it once, thank you.
Yeah.
So
Any more lows?
Huh?
Any more lows?
Lows.
Or did I cut you off with the Deadpool court? Was there more you wanted to add to that?
I don't know. I'm sure there's stuff I'm just not thinking of. But because there wasn't, I didn't come out like offended by anything. Nothing was really bad to the point where it's goddamn. Like some of the past Marvel movies I've walked out. Yeah. Eternals, for instance. Love and Thunder, for another example.
Eternals went back to their home planet. We're never hearing of the Eternals again. Yeah.
I'd say, Deadpool, the one person that I would hope would mock this, they have not mentioned the damn giant hand sticking out of the damn planet from Eternals.
Are they in the same time? Is the Eternals in the same timeline as Deadpool?
Doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, Deadpool knows everything. Yeah.
How did Wolverine know who the Avengers were?
He might have had an Avengers in his world.
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
And they all died.
Everybody
dies. Yeah, nothing's real.
Everybody died. That's all. That's all I can think of. What about you? You got any last minute thoughts? I will say,
as far as lows, no.
It's not a low, but I appreciated the mid-credit section with the montage of the behind the scenes.
Ooh, that's a tearjerker.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say it, but since you brought it up first, I was not expecting to get kind of emotional. I think it was Green Day more than anything.
Yeah, that's the song.
Yeah. But they did, and it wasn't just clips from the characters we saw in the movie. It was like all the movies.
Yeah. There was B-roll. This isn't like just scenes from the actual
Fan Four Stick there was a clips of there. Yeah. There was the X-Men in there, which again I don't understand why X-Men weren't in this movie. It boggles my mind. Not that I guess it doesn't really matter, but
that would have helped in the scene of them dying.
Well, yeah.
But
it's some kind of variant of we're in the multiverse, for God's sake.
Yeah. If Wolverine's wearing the colors, we could have finally got the moment of all the X-Men wearing the colors.
Yeah. I'm just afraid that ever since Multiverse of Madness, where we got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and then they killed him off, and Patrick Stewart as the animated series version of Professor X, and then they killed him off. Now I'm getting nervous when I see cameos like pop up for like one movie. It's like, are they gonna kill him off? Because we're not gonna see him again. This is like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a fun movie. I wish it had some kind of overall bigger impact to the MCU because that's what we need right now. We need some kind of positivity for the MCU, and that we didn't get it in this. I don't think.
I might have missed it, and sometimes we just
miss
need
a lot. You fall asleep.
A little, just a titch of exposition. After the credits and the B-roll, which we'll hit in a second, did it pop up on the screen? Deadpool and Wolverine will return.
I didn't see it. No, and I don't think they would tell us that right now.
Okay.
But I didn't see it. Maybe they did. I don't know. I did see there was in Memory 4, that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I just but
I didn't see that they'll return. No, I don't think it was, because that's normally like after the last like copyright thing. That's when they'll cut to that, and then they'll do the scene. But I don't remember seeing that when it popped up. But yeah, there was a post-credit scene showing that Deadpool was right. He's not a liar.
Cap that Human Torch was talking a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, but it was fun. It connects funny. It connected well, and it made that earlier scene even funnier.
Yeah.
Because in the movie we didn't talk about it, but Deadpool's just like kind of like throwing. It sounds like he's like making up shit that
throwing Human Torch under the bus, and Cassandra just like offs him like that.
Just rips his skin off.
Yeah, literally. And so we get the callback in the post-credit scene. He literally said almost everything verbatim that Deadpool told Cassandra that he said. Yeah, which was funny. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was good. I mean, for all the stuff we got, I think they knocked it out. And the main thing was seeing Wolverine. We got the claws. We got the costume. We got the mask. We got him and Deadpool going back and forth. That kind of stuff. You know, that's when you say Deadpool and Wolverine. That's what you're going in the movie for.
And the chemistry was so good. Knowing that, no, not a lot of people do, but knowing that they're best friends and you could tell that they spend a lot of time together. That scene in the van where Wolverine shoot Deadpool's ass off.
You're reading my mind.
Woo!
You're reading my mind. I was about to say, he is the one guy that actually put him in his place and made him speechless. And Hugh Jackman just going off. You could tell that was from the soul. Like, I don't think he was acting right there. He was like calling him a motherfucker for real. Like I
love you, but fuck, you got some moments where I
it's almost like the director called cut, and he was still going off, motherfucker.
All of that's B-roll they threw in the movie because it was that good.
I read a comment somewhere. I can't remember.
You couldn't even keep a relationship with a stripper.
I just envision just, you know, I thought of you in that.
Of everything you wanted to tell me.
Yeah. But oh, and then at the very end where he didn't say anything, he says, "You got nothing to say, mouth." Oh, that I wanted to say to you for a long time.
That that's the essence.
Matter of fact, that's gonna be your new name from now on.
Mouth. Good, because I'm tired of being called ass.
No, you'll always be ass.
That is the quintessential essence of the entire Deadpool and Wolverine comic.
You'll be mouth to ass from now on.
No, we're in banking. It's ATM, ass to mouth.
Yes.
But that's literally, if you're a fan of the comics, that's what you get in the books, and the fact that they went that deep, it hit real good.
Yeah.
So it's weird because the speech at the end of Logan before he dies, it's sentimental because you're suspended in disbelief for the movie that you're watching, but watching the the scene Wolverine bitching out Deadpool, you have 20 years of investment of Hugh Jackman in this character, and you've never seen this come out of his mouth.
No.
Ever. He's never had this kind of like dialogue or attention.
I mean, he cussed in Logan. He threw some F-bombs out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to the evisceration level of motherfucker. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Hugh Jackman in that scene was...
I'm telling you, that wasn't Wolverine cussing out Deadpool. That was Hugh Jackman cussing out Ryan Reynolds.
That is Oscar-worthy. Because we all believed it. We all felt it. Like, damn, you've been holding that in for 20 years, bro.
Yeah. The funniest thing is that was in their world like 20 minutes of him meeting him. He knew everything about him. He hates every single thing about the guy.
Kind of makes me wonder what the Deadpool in his time was like for him to.
He didn't know him. There's no one like you in my world or something. He said that in the diner.
So I'm curious if he had the nice pool. And that's what he's used to. $400 million in 4 days.
Worldwide. That sounds about right.
And it's still climbing. I think we're at past 500 now.
Oh, I'm sure we are. This is only the second week.
Yeah, it's only the second week.
Yeah.
Do you plan on watching it again? In the theater?
I'll buy it on 4K when it comes out.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to the theater again. Fuck, I don't like going to the theaters now.
Oh yeah. Now that people are going back to normal.
So I'm not going. I'm not gonna go back to theater, and I don't have Disney Plus, so I'll just buy it when it comes out on 4K.
Gotcha.
I wonder if it's gonna come out on 4K. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I remember I was getting into this episode. I was recalling us doing our review of Logan, and you made a comment about Deadpool. Do you remember what you said?
No. Indulge me.
You said what they should do is when the next Deadpool movie starts, have Deadpool with the metal detector going around his gravesite, and then start digging him out. So
I called it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, he didn't use a metal detector to find him, but he did dig him out and disgrace the corpse.
Nyctophilia. How about that?
Yeah.
Necrophilia. How about that?
Yeah.
So, what's next for the MCU? We've had Deadpool and Wolverine is the only film coming out this year. Next year is Fantastic Four.
No, before that.
Before that?
Got Captain Falcon.
Oh yeah, New World Order. Then after Captain Falcon.
Brave New World. Brave World.
Oh
Order.
yeah, they changed
Brave
that
New
too.
World.
They changed that too. Did Hulk Hogan threaten to sue?
Yeah, probably.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the news coming out with Brave New World? Are you liking Esposito as Sidewinder? Are you liking the duality between Falcon and
I like Esposito as an actor. His being in the movie has no bearing on me whatsoever. Mainly because he was an add-in. Like they shot the movie and then they added him in as another character.
Mm-hmm.
But the trailer for the new Captain America movie, it's better than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me vibes of Winter Soldier, which I think is what they're going for. More political, espionage, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know how... I would imagine you would... Even though Feige said you don't need to watch the Disney Plus shows, I think you need to see the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Because Isaiah's in there, which I missed it the first time I saw the trailer. Mm-hmm. Isaiah's in there. Well, the fact that he's Captain America now, officially.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just... MCU is in a weird, funky place right now. And I will say, I knew going into San Diego Comic-Con that they were gonna have to do something, right? So, because going back a few months, they had a huge hit with the X-Men 97 animated series.
We didn't even touch on that.
No. And then, so that kind of boosted up people talking about it a little bit. And then, at the same time, the hype for Wolverine, the Deadpool Wolverine movie was coming around. So everybody's talking about that. The trailer for Captain America came out, which I think more positive than negative. Mm-hmm. And now with all the news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, I think MCU's they're getting in a good spot. They're in a better spot than they were last year. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But they just got to keep this momentum going as much as they can with some of the news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. So, I don't know if you wanted to...
Are you cautiously optimistic for the next steps in the MCU?
Fuck yes!
Okay, good.
I'm...
Did Deadpool Wolverine earn you enough equity to give the next things a shot?
No. Because... I should have stopped right there. No, next question. No, because anything Deadpool related is Ryan Reynolds' baby. So that's his project. And this had no bearing on MCU at all.
Yeah.
My coworker again, he's asking me, he says, after seeing this movie, does this make you anticipate anything else in the MCU going forward? And I was like, no. Because it doesn't have anything to do with the MCU at all. Yeah. And that goes back to the crux of my issues that I have with the story and how it resolved.
Even Deadpool admits, hey, welcome to the MCU, Wolverine. You're in at a bad time.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. I laughed out loud on that.
I did too, yeah.
But anyway, so... the news about Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and everything else coming out. They have... I will say, the reaction and people going for Deadpool Wolverine, that felt like an event. Mm-hmm. And seeing the Hall H San Diego Comic-Con with everybody popping and yelling for all the reveals and everything, that felt like old MCU. That felt like it felt like we're at an event status again.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it. If we can. Now, my issue is,
go for it.
Are these just Band-Aids that they're putting on? Because there's a certain aspect of Marvel and Disney that has to be addressed for any of this to work. And what I mean is good writing, no politics, no identity, anything. Mm-hmm. And did I mention good writing?
The priority above everything else should be the story.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, after Endgame, they're like, okay, guys, y'all can go home. We'll just hire these other people to come in and ruin this whole franchise legacy we created 10 years ago. But all these writers and producers, Marvel and Disney are very producer heavy. So everything's heavily produced, right? So all the faults of all the TV shows and movies, obviously Bob Iger's at the top, but Kevin Feige takes a big responsibility for that. And also
Kennedy?
all the all the producers and the writers that thought that this was good. And to a lesser extent, creativity wise, you can't just get rid of all these characters like your Captain America, your Iron Man, your Thor, and replace them with the Eternals and Shang-Chi and who else am I missing?
Black Panther's little sister.
Yeah, you can't. You're just like nobody cares about these new characters. So it's great that they want to announce two new Avengers movies. But I don't care about who these heroes are anymore. Because the people I care about aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So you can tell me you're having Avengers movies. Great. Where's Iron Man at? Where's Captain America at? Where's Thor at?
The established characters that we've known for the past 15 years.
Yeah. Even Black Widow, bring her ass back. I don't... Somebody.
But this was a problem that comic book fans were expecting to run into because from Iron Man 1 to Endgame, it's our generation's Star Wars trilogy. And ever since then, there's no fucking way in my lifetime that you're ever going to top Iron Man to Endgame. Just like our parents will say, oh, the prequel and the sequel trilogy's never going to touch New Hope, Empire, Jedi. Never. So having to follow that, we're already in a deficit because you can't top that shit. And when you say the originality, it's hard. It can't really complain as much if the originality is pulling from the source. So in certain comics, Black Panther's mantle is taken over by Shuri. In certain comics, something happens in Doctor Strange. In certain comics, something happens. It's hard. It's a hard act to follow, but it's also we want the old act because the old act was so good, which explains in at least in my idea in my brain why it's a perfect hire to bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. Because if
we want to talk about all this,
we got a few minutes. I mean, if we've spent the last 5 years fucking with time
and space and timelines and
sexuality,
universe.
Deadpool will fuck anything that moves. So we end up with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom in the new Avengers movie that is preceding Secret Wars. What did you think of the news when you first heard or saw it?
Ambivalent. That's a big word.
I know, so you'll have to explain it to people that don't understand big words, because we have a lot of wrestling fans that we have friends with.
No, we don't.
They won't know what that word is.
So I've been saying, now it's been years, they need Robert Downey Jr. back. Pay him whatever he wants. I don't give a shit. We need some anchors back on the MCU, because this ship is sailing away.
And to be fair, Iron Man was the first movie, and the ending of Endgame, Robert Downey Jr.'s character was the anchor through the whole thing.
I understand originally they said, we're not going to bring it back. It's going to diminish what happened in Endgame. I get it.
Yeah, but we killed Logan, so fuck it. We can do whatever.
Exactly. You say that it diminishes, but at the same time, you're also introducing multiverses.
Yeah. Which
you could easily just pluck out a character anywhere. We've seen it happen. We just watched a movie about it.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse not to bring in a Chris Evans or a Robert Downey Jr. for these characters that we know and love. The reason I say ambivalent is because, like I said, I've been saying they need him. Bring him back. I don't care. Mm-hmm. They brought him back. So part of me is like, cool. And then it's like, that's Dr. Doom. Oh. It's like, because that's not Dr. Doom. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's not Dr. Doom. Now, I will tell you this, as a someone who partakes in comic books.
A connoisseur, if you will.
Connoisseur, yes. There is a Marvel What If story. So I think it's a little miniseries, but it was called Demon in an Armor.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Iron Man, Demon in a Bottle, where it explored his alcoholism and everything else. But Demon in an Armor showed a what if story of Victor Von Doom. Instead of going to college with Reed Richards, he went to college with Tony Stark. And in that, Victor Von Doom kept getting passed up by Tony, blah, blah, blah. And then, shorten this thing out, long story short, Victor Von Doom created a device to actually switch brains, or switch bodies.
With Tony, yeah.
So basically, his brain, his mind, in the body of Tony Stark, and Tony's brain is in the body of Doctor Doom,
Mm-hmm.
and so they both kind of go on their way, and Victor is coming off. Well, Tony, it gets confusing when you're talking about the characters, but Tony is living life, all this other stuff. He's got an Iron Man suit, but it's more green. Mm-hmm. And then Victor Von Doom. He's kind of
struggles, perseveres.
Well, he's making Latveria a more prosperous nation, and he's got like it's a Doctor Doom outfit, but it's gold armor with a red cloak and the hood. So you got the characters, but they're kind of swapped. Yeah. So I think that's where they're going. Some people have brought up, and I've seen this pop around on social media and stuff, Infamous Iron Man, which is a different storyline. It wasn't a what if, but it's an actual storyline where Victor Von Doom just takes the mantle of Iron Man. That's it. This is him as Iron Man. So you got like a amalgamation of like a chrome and green Iron Man, Doctor Doom combo costume. But I think that Demon in Armor, I think that's where they're going. And I think what's going to happen is...
You're making predictions now for
in the
3 years from now?
Yeah.
Record again?
Yeah, because they don't know. I think... Because it's been revealed somewhere, I'm not sure where, but that Robert Downey Jr. is signed up for 2 movies. I'm assuming the 2 Avengers movies. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe pop-ups in Fantastic Four. I don't know. Yeah. But I think he's gonna start off thinking, we're gonna think that he's Doctor Doom, but I think at the end we're gonna get the reveal of the real Doctor Doom, and that's gonna kind of take the place of that. I could be totally wrong. It's no metal detector.
There has to be some optimism then, because you just did the typical comic book guys, like, you can go this way, you can do this way, you can do this way.
It got me thinking, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Marvel, they started this. Mm-hmm. So
it will be the most expensive joke Marvel has ever paid for. Because I am expecting Deadpool to stare Dr. Doom and say, "Hey, aren't you the guy disguised as a guy playing another guy?"
They got to do that.
They have to.
They got to do that. But I'm also, and you may have posted something to this on your Facebook, but I'm waiting for, since it's Avengers, we're going to get Marvel heroes. Spider-Man's going to be one of them. I'm just waiting for a battle scene with Dr. Doom and Spider-Man, and he's punching him, and he punches him in the face, the mask comes flying off, and he sees Tony Stark. Oh!
He's his Tony Stark.
Yes. Oh. That's gonna... Yeah, everybody's gonna lose it when they see that.
Yeah. I'm already getting goosebumps thinking about those scenes. Yeah. Yeah. So before, one last thing, because there's still a gap here. Before we got the announcement of Doomsday for Avengers, after Quantum Mania, how are you feeling about the Kang Dynasty being the first Avengers movie? Before everything happened with Jonathan
I'm glad
Majors.
You mentioned that, Chris.
Before Jonathan Majors did his thing.
Because I've seen some stuff online. People are saying, well, I can't believe they're just going to drop that whole storyline. Listen.
I'll come back if they ask me to come back, obviously.
No. They ended that storyline, and I tell you how. You need to watch the last episode of Loki Season 2. There is a one-off, it was probably added in post, but they mentioned that there is a time variant, whatever, of... an incursion, or whatever they call it in Loki. In the 616 timeline. Oh, but that was resolved, when they closed. They mentioned that there was an event that happened and that it was taken care of. They're talking about Ant-Man. That movie. They close the folder and they say, okay, well, that's done. They end it.
I missed that.
They close it, but it's like it's not eventful at all. And I think they threw it in there because when that was coming out, that was something
around the time that they kind of are already looking for another out.
The only thing, if you're just looking at a movie aspect, yes, it's still open because of that post-credit scene.
Yeah.
But honestly, did that do anything for you? That Council of Kings, they're all screaming and yelling and everything. No, that was fucking stupid. That was dumb.
I thought that was going to be the goodbye to the Fox universe because that was Fox level CGI. It was bad.
Man, it was bad. Well, the whole movie was bad. Oh, God. Don't get me started on MODOK.
Oh, God.
I said don't get me started.
No.
So, yeah. So there's that. So the Avengers, they did announce the Russos are coming back. Great. You purposely reached out to me because I said, if the writers aren't coming back, it's not going to matter.
One of the two writers is coming back. I shot the name to you.
Well, if they're partners, so if one's come back, I would imagine the other one's coming back too. Yeah. But that's what I don't know why they got rid of other writers and producers and their directors. Why'd you get rid of them all? Anyway,
and it would be easier on them because building up to each Avengers movie, they didn't have any creative, or I didn't think they had enough creative control on all the other individual movies leading up to have them kind of tie it together. They don't have a lot to tie together leading up to this first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
It's just Fantastic Four and dabble with Deadpool.
Everything's so just disconjointed and there's nothing there. Like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
That's where they're at right now.
Make it make sense and we need $1 billion.
No, this is Avengers. We need $2 billion.
Oh, snap, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you got Robert Downey Jr.
That's the good start. You got a new anchor.
Yeah.
It's almost a shame that you're bringing him back and it's only the 2 movies. Or if he cameos as a post-credit in Fantastic Four or whatever. But you would want, if you're getting Robert Downey Jr. back, you would want him as long as possible. There's just not a lot.
Well, so here's the thing. They, back when MCU started, they started a new thing where they signed multiple deals, like multiple movie contracts. Yeah. It turns out like the actors were getting tired of doing that, blah, blah, blah. They wanted to move on to other things, but they're contractually obligated to these, and it took a 10-year toll on them and everything. So now, after Endgame, all these new actors are signed up. There's like one-and-done deals. Yeah. So now we don't know what kind of commitment anybody has for the MCU, because they're all, superhero stuff, whatever.
I want to do my artsy film. I'll come back to you later.
That makes nothing. Yeah, go make your fucking artsy film.
Yeah. Get it out of your system.
Yeah, Jesus. As an actor, seriously, do you want to make an indie film that is important to you, or do you want to make $1 billion fucking dollars?
Pay your bills.
Yeah, seriously. So you're known as a comic book character. Your legacy is going to be your Thor or whatever. Is that really that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, you get... Oh no. I'm going to have royalties for the rest of my life. Oh,
I'm
no.
going to be reminded of the Dark World.
Oh, no.
I was no, now you're going to be reminded of Love and Thunder.
I'm going to be loved and adored by millions of fans. Kids are going to run up to me, want to get my autograph. Oh, no.
I could make 6 figures at a comic convention for 4 hours.
Yeah. No.
Woe is me.
But let me put this to the side to
sit next to Peter Cullen.
I'll make an art house film. Get the fuck out of here.
It's only going to be an AMC. Yeah.
If you're lucky. Jesus.
I believe that is an episode.
Yeah.
I think we're caught up to the MCU now in this gap that we left you for the past 2 years.
Yeah, don't worry, it won't happen again. As in, we're not
coming back. We're going to rebury ourselves back in the hole we put ourselves in.
Yeah, you go for I'll bury you first.
Yeah!
We didn't talk about Fantastic Four.
Don't dance the instinct dance if you're going to dance on my grave.
Oh, I'm dancing on your grave. I'll dance whatever, yeah. Bye.
2-step.
Yeah.
I need to see you dance. I've never seen you dance ever.
That's a shame.
Dang! Oh, man. Next road trip or get together we do outside of this house, I'll have to find you a dance floor.
No, you act like that's going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen. No, he's not going to leave here.
Yeah.
That's a show, man. Is there anything else?
That is the show.
That's the show, yeah. That's the return, yeah.
And the goodbye.
Yeah. We'll leave this timeline sacred again by not talking about it anymore. Yeah.
I tell you what, if we get
We'll see you for the review of Doomsday.
If I get 50 views, we'll make another video.
I'll watch it 50 times. Why not?
Damn it! I didn't think about that part.
Why do you think our viewership is so high? I am the viewership.
That I believe.
That's how that.
Well, okay, so yeah. In all honesty, if you're still with us, if you're still watching this godforsaken video,
car crash of an episode.
Thank you. I hope we at least entertained for some aspect of this.
Yeah.
But if you enjoyed it, give us a like, leave a comment. Would you like to see more content from us? And Chris, I'll know if it's you that typed in a comment.
Antonio Picante, that fucking Mexican. God.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and who knows, we might. No, we're not gonna. I don't know.
With that said,
Yeah.
This was fun. It was good to be back.
Yeah. All right. And
How do we end this?
I don't know. I drew a blank right now.
Oh, top guys.
Out.
Toodles.
Popular culture? What did I used to say? I had it.
Oh yeah, popular culture.
Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. It's coming to me.
Take 7.
And always remember to pop your culture.
Bye. Oh, we're supposed to freeze?